It's character, bro. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Okay, so late last night, I seen a post from Zhilei Zhang saying how Joyce has asked him for a rematch. Now, obviously, I've seen like a lot of people dropping comments from early on this morning saying that Joyce has activated the rematch clause. Some people, because obviously one of my latest videos is that Joyce has yet to activate the rematch. And it's been, 10 days or more now. So, and there's some people calling me a clown for not doing my research, which is weird, isn't it? Considering I uploaded that video, 12 hours before that quote even came out. Sorry, I don't have a time machine. Okay, but let me educate you, okay? Joyce telling Zhilei Zhang, I want the rematch, isn't activating the rematch clause. For him to get the rematch, he has to officially activate the rematch clause. And you and I will know when it's done, because it then be put out in the public domain via A, Joyce's managerial team, SJAM, or B, his promoter, Queensberry, or C, the WBO, the sanctioning body. Those three. Not Zhilei Zhang, Joyce telling him in a phone call, or maybe he said to him immediately after the fight, let's do the rematch. But as of right now, it hasn't officially been activated. Or if it has, I don't really know why they haven't put it out in public. But regardless, the intent appears to be that he is at least going to, which is good. For me, I want to see Joyce get straight back in there with Zhilei Zhang. There's no permanent damage to that eye. It was a little bit of swelling. I say a little bit, it closed up his eye, so obviously a fair bit of swelling. That ain't going to take too long to go down. In fact, it's probably already down right now, and his face is back to normal, okay? So, get straight back in there. I'd have preferred it if I don't know, within a day or two after the fight, it had been publicly put out that he has in fact activated the rematch. But the fact that it's got over 10 days now, a week and a half now since they last fought, there's been no official statement put out from his managerial team, his promoter, or the sanctioning body to say that Joyce has officially activated the rematch clause. That tells me there's some hesitation from his side at least. He's weighing up the options. Don't really know what other options you could possibly get if he was struggling to get certain opponents while he was in a mandatory position with a guaranteed world title shot. What's he going to do now? Does that make sense? So he needs to get straight back on that horse and get back in that ring with Zhilei Zhang and prove the world wrong. Obviously, a lot of people say, if you lose one fight, you'll lose the rematch. I don't really know why that narrative happens. Of course, that does happen quite a lot, of course. But from time to time, results can be changed in the rematch. You see a totally new fighter, if you like. Joyce has that pedigree. He has that amateur background. He's seen all styles, and he would have had to have changed his style at times to get certain wins and what have you. You don't become a silver medalist at the Olympic Games by being one route. Okay, you don't really do that. And arguably, he won that gold medal and got jobbed against Tonioka. But Zhilei Zhang, of course, he's a two-time Olympian. He's a silver medalist himself back in 2008. And Zhilei Zhang is a prime example of things that I've been saying for a long time. When people say, oh, so-and-so's fighting him because he's old. Oh, he's fighting him because he's old. Well, Zhilei Zhang is older than everybody, okay, in the heavyweight division, outside of, say, Luis Ortiz. Okay? So, look what Zhilei Zhang done. People have jumped on the bandwagon saying how Joyce is overrated, he's hype job, there's no way he can beat Zhilei Zhang in the rematch. Of course he can. Of course he can. Joyce did say that he was struggling to get sparring partners and he weren't doing that much preparation work for a southpaw. In fact, right before the ring walk, Joyce was doing pads with his trainer Ismail Salas, while Ismail Salas was doing orthodox stance rather than southpaw stance. So he went in there totally unprepared for a southpaw. For this rematch, he's going to have to bust the bank. Bring in the best sparring partners you possibly can who are southpaw. Bring in Otto Wallin. Bring in Dempsey McKean. Bring in these kind of ones who are tall and are southpaw and can punch a bit. And move your head once in a while too. That would be nice. So I fully expect Joyce to overturn that result. Why not? Why not? If he can get past those first several rounds without taking up too much damage or anything, he should be able to overtake and stop Zhilei Zhang. Zhilei Zhang doesn't have the best gas tank in the world. Joyce does. So he can do it. Will he do it? Well, that's another story, isn't it? But anyway, as of right now, he has requested a rematch, or at least told Zhilei Zhang he wants a rematch. Let's wait for it to be officially announced. For those of you who's saying, do your research, you're a clown, he's activated the rematch. No, he hasn't. Who's really the clown? But hopefully he does, right? Anyway, I hope you all have a great day. Catch you next video. Subscribe.